Hello friends. Now let us take up the third concept in our training session 4 of OFG. Data type parsing methods. Already I told you whatever type of argument you enter at command line, that is transformed as a string. That means if you enter string like pens, there is no issue because we want it as a string only. But if you enter 10 also, it is transformed as 10. If you enter 9.5, this is also transformed as a. Suppose if you enter A, that is also a single character, even though that is transformed as a string. In such case, as I told you already, for displaying there is no issue. But if you have to perform operations, then because of this, we cannot perform operations. Here in this case, what is required? We have to find out amount. Amount means number into rate. That we cannot perform. For that purpose, what is required? Then this should be removed. Otherwise, imagine like this. It is like a string. It is like a wrapped chocolate. You cannot, if you want to display, there is no issue. I have 3 chocolates. You can display to anybody. But whenever you want to eat, what happens? It should be unwrap. Okay. For unwrapping purpose, then only any operation. This is original integer. This is original float. Whatever operation, plus, minus, division or multiplication, anything you do that. In this case, we have to perform multiplication. Then only we can find out amount. For that purpose, for this is unwrapping purpose, or this is called parsing. Parsing. Actually, it is in the string form and it should be transformed into int form. This is in a string form. This is should be transformed into float form. So, in order to do this, Java provides us parsing methods. Parsing methods are, I don't want to give details about that, just using. Later we do that. If I have to explain anything, I have to explain it fully. Halfway you should not use. But for this purpose, ad hoc sake, I am showing you the methods. Simply seeing that, you can understand what is the purpose of that. See, first one, byte dot parse a byte. Suppose in command line argument, suppose you entered your age 29. It is byte. Then if you want to remove this layer, that is you want to extract byte value, then you have to use that byte dot parse a byte. Easily you can remember, but case sensitive, you must understand that. Thereafter, integer dot parse int. Integer value is given as command line argument, then you have to use that. Thereafter, long parse long. Then long value if you give, you have to use this. Short parse short. Short value if you give, and you have to use this one. Float parse float. Float value like this 2.9 if you give, then you have to use float dot parse float. Double value if you give, then parse double method you have to use. Okay, first remember the list. Why you have to remember? Then whenever you have to use, whenever you want to extract a particular value, then you must immediately recall which method. Simple. That's why Java names may be longer, but don't worry. Everything easily, one name if you remember all the names. So this list you keep in mind, and in our next program I am going to apply. Here, how to use that, you get it out. That I am going to explain on the board by writing. Suppose if you perform cache blue program, which are going to show as the next item, then what we enter at command line. This example already explained. That's why I am taking liberty to give you this example without performing the program. First you enter pens. Thereafter what you enter? Number of items, 10 pens. Thereafter 9.5. 9.5, this is the price of each unit, each pen. In this manner 3 entered. Now how to parse? Now we have to perform operation. Without performing operation, how can you arrive at amount? Amount is equal to number into rate. That you know. In order to, now what is the state of this? State of this. As far as this is concerned, we don't have any complaint because we want to use it as string only. String only. That's why we don't have any problem. How we use it, just I show that. Then you can have clarity. Here 3 items are there. One is string, other one is int, other one is float. Where it is stored according to you? Already I explained. args0 is stored. Pence is stored in args0. This one args1. This one args2. This knowledge you have. Now it is a string. It is an array. Array first element is its name is args. First element is represented as args0. Second element is represented as args1. Third element is represented as args2. Now you could understand. Now first one is what actually this is now cash bill, item name, simply args0 you can write because no conversions are required for this. Next one is what? CB numbers. Then which one we have to extract from a string? We have to extract integer value from the string. That's why simply remember that integer capital, class name integer dot parse int. Here parse int only you have to write, not integer. Then what you write? Args. This is the way. Where it is? In args1 it is there. So args1 it is in a string form. Because of that it is in this form. You want to peel off this layer. Okay. Then what is stored here? 10. The original integer. This is string consists of integer value and this is removed. Then 10 is stored here. Next one. This one. CV. What is that? A rate per unit. Okay. What type? What type of value is stored here? What type of value? Float dot parse float. Already I told you, if you edit to small names and all that, A, B, C, D and all that, don't think of Java. Because for lazy people, Java is not suitable. Understand? If you want to give any short names and all that, you have to pay price. God also cannot save you. That point you have to understand. Okay, this is the way. Now this also explain. Originally this is the form. Now it is peeled off. Then what will come? 9.5 will come. In that way, depending on the type which is made string, you have to use corresponding method. Here integer and float I have used, and different situation depending on the type you have to use correct parsing method.